Hello, friends at Pleasant View Bible Church. Greetings to you from Bob and Charlotte Buhler here in Kansas City, Missouri. Little did we know that back when we were with you at a church service, I believe it was March 6th of this year, that would be the last time we would be involved in a face-to-face worship service. Since then, the coronavirus has changed all of our lives, and we would like to just share briefly what God is doing through our ministry now with Avant Ministries.
Well, Bob and I were talking today that you guys, as a church, started supporting us back in 1995. And that's almost 25 years. So we are just so grateful for your support, not only financially, but your generosity towards us in sending work teams to help us in our ministry in Mexico, through prayer, through friendship, through allowing us to stay in the missionary residence on a number of home assignments. Well, this past year was a big one for us. We moved from Dallas to Kansas City back in July of 2019, and when Camino Global merged with Avant Ministries. And one plus for that for us that's been really special is being able to have more interaction with other missionaries supported by you all, like the Plastows, the Stritzels, and the Heldenbrands. One big event for us this past year is we became grandparents. Kaylin and Matt have a little boy named Sawyer, and so we're now Pops and Nana. So that's fun. Our daughter Catherine made the transition with us and is living with us here in Kansas City and working at a local medical clinic. And our son Brent is just finished his first year at the University of Arkansas.
Well, as Charlotte mentioned, this has been a pretty monumental year for us with a lot of transition. When we first moved here, one of the responsibilities I had was to serve on a task force with other Avant colleagues to figure out how we were going to serve our different fields, over 50 fields where we have Avant missionaries, 500 missionaries, to know how we would help in serving them as ministry directors, and that is how I serve as one of 12 ministry directors. And the areas that I work with are missionaries serving in Mexico and Guatemala, Honduras, Colombia, and some teams here in the U.S. As a ministry director, my role is to come alongside our team leaders, about 10 of them, and help in troubleshooting issues related to ministry and coaching and mentoring. So it's a privilege to be able to serve our missionary body in this way, specifically those in the Spanish-speaking world. Our travels have taken us to several countries. Earlier this year, in January, we went to Colombia to visit several missionary families there, mainly those who had recently arrived in Colombia. And it was just a blessing to be able to come alongside these new missionaries with kids and talk about raising a family on the mission field and homeschooling options and what ministry would look like as they move forward. And that was just an encouraging time to be there and to get to know our missionaries there. And then we also were able to travel to Mexico. We were invited to participate in a 20-year anniversary celebration with those who have been a part of what we call the Summer Missionary Program, training young people to teach kids clubs throughout Mexico during the summer break. It was an exciting time. It's a ministry that we've been a part of and helped to start back in '99. And just what a blessing to be a part of that and see how God continues to use it under Mexican leadership. Also earlier this year, we were part of a ministry director meetings where all of the ministry directors came here to Kansas City to talk about moving forward as Avant in all of the various countries and what that would look like. And it was a privilege to be able to get to know all the different ministry directors, some of whom were new faces for us, and to be able to get to know them and their wives and work together to serve the Avant missionary body.
Well, with the merger, one of the highlights for me has been the opportunity to be even more involved with Bob in his role. As he mentioned, I've been able to travel with him to the various fields earlier this year, and it's just been such a blessing for me to be able to have opportunities to kind of download the experiences that I have, the lessons that I've learned as I raised my family, and was involved in ministry and teams and doing all that in another culture and another language, being able to kind of download those experiences into the newer generation. So that's been a real highlight for me.
Well, you might wonder, what are you doing now? Things have changed dramatically. One thing we're not doing is we're not traveling anymore for the time being. Since the beginning of March, or middle of March, we've pretty much had a moratorium on any travel. So we're doing a lot of what the rest of the world is doing in virtual Zoom calls and video type calling of folks to see how they're doing, and working with team leaders and seeing how their teams are doing and praying together. And I've been encouraged to see that so many of those that I work with that are involved in theological education and preaching and teaching, and used to doing that in a local church or in a seminary, are now doing all that virtually, and just made the adjustments as needed to be able to continue ministering and serving in those ways. So pretty much doing what the rest of the world is doing right now, and continuing to serve, but just doing that virtually.
Well, as we close here, we'd like to share just 2 prayer requests. First of all, we'd like to ask prayer for our daughter Kaylin. She is a nurse and working with the COVID patients up in northern New Jersey. There's several hundred patients that have COVID in her hospital, and she's working directly with them. So we just continue to pray for her safety.
Another request is just wisdom to know when to begin to travel again. Not only just ourselves, but also within the missionary body, when to allow travel again. And every country has their own restrictions, so just wisdom as I work with the missionaries that are in my region. Again, we are so grateful to you all for your part and what we've been doing for the past 25 years. And we thank the Lord for Pleasant View Bible Church. Hopefully look forward to seeing you in September when we're up there for the missions conference. Assuming that's going to happen, we look forward to seeing you all at that time.